Hey everybody, today I'm going to be answering the number one question that everybody asks me. Where's the best place to find land that's 5 to 15 acres, about an hour and a half, 2 hours outside of a major metropolitan area, is beautiful and has all the cool stuff that the family's going to want to go and participate in? If that's the question that you've got for finding land here in Texas, we're getting after it right now. Hey everybody, this channel is all about Texas land and ranch living, the good, the bad, the ugly, the ins and outs. So if that's what you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, that way you're notified every time we put out a new video. And look, if you like it, give us that thumbs up. If you have questions, comments, because that's really what drives the content of this, put it down in the comments section. Whenever you or anyone you know are ready to buy your ranch here in Texas, go ahead and give us a call, send us a text message, shoot us an email, heck, send us a note via Pony Express. Any which way you want to reach out to us, we got your back when moving here to Texas. Washington County. I decided to just go ahead and hop in the pickup truck, take the GoPro, and just show you around. Now look, I actually found a listing on there that I think is really nice. So we're gonna do a little preview of that, as well as take a look at all the cool places that there are there in Washington County. Getting after it right now. Okay, so the next stop on our tour is Chapel Hill. So Chapel Hill, historic. It was established in 1847. Tiny little town. But as you can see over my shoulder here, it's got a lot of thriving little shops, bakeries, garden centers. It's known for a couple of things. First and foremost, bluebonnets. So they hold a big, huge bluebonnet festival here every year. And then as far as in my line of work, Chapel Hill is really known as, I'm gonna call it the ranchette capital of Texas. So it's a 45, 50 minute, just under an hour drive from Houston out here to Chapel Hill. And there are just communities of 5-acre home sites. There's a number of 10 to 20 acre sites, and just some beautiful homes with these nice ranchettes. And one of the things that makes it such is, one, it's got great weather. It's right in this post oak savanna. So if you haven't caught my video on the different ecoregions of Texas, I'm gonna put a little link in here, and it really goes into depth as to what that post oak savanna is. But the post oak savanna has, rolling hills, beautiful sunsets, and of course, big, huge post oaks throughout. And so it makes it a highly desirable area for those people who live in and around either Austin or Houston to come out and have some ranchettes. Now, I know everybody's gonna say, Austin, they wanna go out towards the hill country. That's true, most people do, a lot of it does. But there's a lot of people who live and work or travel in between Austin and Houston, and Washington County, and in particular Chapel Hill, is a great spot for a lot of people. Very desirable. Hey, I want to show everybody this great little 8-acre tract just between Chapel Hill and Washington on the Brazos. The property description reads as follows. Conveniently located between Houston, Bryan College Station, Kyle Field, Austin, Brenham, Navasota, and the birthplace of Texas, Washington on the Brazos, this 8-acre property is an idyllic retreat. The beautiful rolling terrain with breathtaking sunset views is the perfect place to build your country home. Delightful hills with scattered trees are home to all kinds of wildlife, including deer. The landscape is adorned with native grasses and numerous mature oak trees. Currently being used as a hay farm, this property has very light deed restrictions and an ag exemption currently in place. Electricity is available. The paved, county-maintained road leads to this piece of paradise in Washington, Texas. Okay, so we're here at Washington on the Brazos. This is a historic center. There's a museum behind me. There's historic trails. But for those of you who don't know your Texas history, Washington on the Brazos is the equivalent of Philadelphia for the US, right? This is where the original capital was. This is where the settlers got together to form, you know, the army under Sam Houston. This is where all the letters back and forth from Goliad and the Alamo came to. And this is where the Constitution was written. And this is where the first, you know, both federal and I believe state governments, I don't think it got moved to Austin until after it was a state. I'll double check that. But Washington on the Brazos, it was the founding location for the Republic of Texas back in 1835, 1836. And you know, this is a wonderful historic site, and it's right here in Washington, County. And you know, it's a great place. It's just a short drive up north from Chapel Hill. We're right on the border with Navasota County on the other side, and then in Brazos County, and then of course you got A&M and Bryan and A&M. Now I don't know if you can see this. Maybe you can see that off in the distance. There's a big old storm coming in, so I'm not going to be able to go through and tour everything that we want to today. I need to get a little bit further south. I need to get a little bit further south and a little bit further west before I can spend some time. So from here I'm going right on in down to Brenham and take a look and show you guys around there. Okay, so we're standing here in front of the Bluebell Creamery's visitor center here in Brenham, Texas. Just if you've never been to Texas, if you haven't been here yet, Bluebell ice cream, it's the way to go. It's sort of the Texas trademark. It is the go-to ice cream throughout the state of Texas, and it's made right here in Brenham, Texas. And you can come in here to the visitor center, do an operational tour around. Of course, they'll give you all sorts of little samples and everything, but whenever you're here in Washington County, here in Brenham, it's definitely a place that if you've never been to, you got to stop by and come do a tour around. So we're heading downtown to downtown Brenham next, do a little drive around and check it out. Yeah, Royer's Cafe. All right, so I'm here at little bitty Round Top. You can look over my shoulder here. Some of the historic site, tiny little town. Now, Round Top turns into an absolute mecca. This little town they estimate the population grows to upwards of 200,000 people twice a year for the antique shopping. Now, obviously this video is all about Washington County, right? And we've been all over Washington County. I'm out here in the rain. I don't know if you can tell. So we never begrudge rain here, but a little bit of secret. Round Top is just outside of Washington County, over in the next county over called Fayette County, Fayette. But I'm gonna pan around here. That right there is Royer's Cafe, world famous. It's a great stop to go in, get something to eat. But you've got little bitty antique shops, and you've got all sorts of cool little places on around. Now, Round Top, whenever they do this, whenever they have the antique festivals, it goes on for miles and miles. I'll try to catch some as I'm driving out of town here, but you'll have just these huge antique barns and warehouses, and it goes all the way down to Warrenton, past Warrenton, down towards LaGrange, goes all the way up towards Burton, and it's just a heck of a sight. I'll try to pin in or put in maybe some footage or some pictures of what this place looks like. But this is Round Top. Even when it's not antiquing or an antique festival, as you can see, even on just a rainy Saturday like this, there's a bunch of people out and about just enjoying the town and enjoying this stuff. I'm gonna pan around to some of the other little places here in this little courthouse. So hold on, that way you can see it. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the rain here, and the next stop we're gonna go to a little town called Ledbetter. It's one of my favorite little mom and pop whiskey distilleries and stops. So we're checking in right after you, right after this. Okay, so look, we cheated. First of all, Round Top is just outside of Washington County, but now we're over in Ledbetter. Now Ledbetter's not that far from Round Top, and it's one of those little towns that are just off of 290, in between Austin and Brenham, that both lead into Round Top. And I gotta tell you, the reason that we're here in Ledbetter is we're stopping off at Cooper Family Distillery. Now this is a local family, local owned, local run family distillery, and because they don't sell through the distributor, you can only buy it here in the store, here in the distillery, and you can only get it 2 bottles at a time. Now, you know, my dad loves this, all my buddies love this, they're big whiskey snobs. My mother-in-law loves this. So I had to stop here, and I figured we'd do a quick little tour around on the inside, because it's really cool, and it also gives you a flavor of what this Round Top area kind of bars and places look like. So let's go inside, kind of belly up to the bar and say hi to the folks and take a look around. It's kind of dark in there, and hopefully the lighting will pick on up. So let's go in. All right, so I'm gonna try to get this story right. So Michelle, the proprietor, the owner, is not here right now, so she can't give us the story. we'll get one of the bartenders, one of the young ladies, to kind of give us a breakdown of some of the different whiskeys that they've got here. And my guys always like for me to pick them up cask strength. Well, we'll let her explain the different types that they've got, and then we'll wrap this on up. Well, what's your name?
Brianna.
Brianna, thank you. So what do we got here? What are the different types of whiskeys y'all make?
So the Sweetheart of Rodeo is a 4-year-old bourbon. On the nose is orange zest, dark fruit, and then finished with a savory, sweet, warm spice. And it's kind of like a Maker's Mark, but a little bit smoother. Your Prodigal Son is going to be a genuine sour mash, kind of like Jack Daniel's, but a lot sweeter, smoother. It's got vanilla frosting, light citrus, banana cream, and licorice with a slight of dryness.
Okay.
Yes. And then your single barrel is a 6.5-year-old bourbon, and it has a toasted maple and caramel and a finish with creme brulee, dark honey, and lingering as a lingering finish.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your barrel reserve rye is a 4 to 6-year-old. And it is finished in a bourbon cask with the fruit notes and finished with toffee, black pepper, and soft oak. The limited edition straight rye, runaway rye, is going to be an 8, almost 9-year-old rye. We had it since we're in Dripping Springs. And it's also Kentucky distillate. So it aged in Kentucky for a little bit, then aged in Dripping, and then finished out here, and then in building itself. And that one has, on the nose, it's vanilla bean, and then it's finished with a caramel and caramel apple and soft oak. The Cooper Family Rye is a normal, regular rye that we use for our old fashions. It's a 3 and 5-year-old rye, and it's finished in a bourbon cask. Then on the nose is dill, creme brulee, vanilla, and finished with rye spice and seasoned oak.
Tell you what, I may have to try an old fashioned with one of those before I go.
Okay.
Cool little place here, and just want to say thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm headed back towards Houston after this. So we are here at Bucky's. For those of you who are unfamiliar outside of the state of Texas, looking at this for the first time, Bucky's is a bit of a Texas institution. So we've stopped here on a kind of a busy day. I had to circle around all the gas pumps twice before I was able to get in and get some gas. But I'm just gonna pan around and kind of show you what it's all about. I'll tell you a little bit about the story. So Bucky's, 2 guys that went to Texas A&M together, I think back in the 80s. They opened a convenience store on the highway between Houston and Lake Jackson. And they just were trying to figure out how to distinguish themselves. So the Bucky's story goes like this. They wanted to be known for having the cleanest bathrooms between Houston and Lake Jackson. And so they were fanatic about having the biggest, cleanest restrooms and to build that reputation. It took them a long time for it to kind of really get known to that, but still to this day, the bathrooms are phenomenal. They're always spotless. There's always people in there cleaning them up. And then it's just grown to this monstrosity that's there today. So you can't get in and out of San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, Austin, any of the big cities here in Texas, in or out of town, without passing one of these huge Bucky's. And here in a moment, after I get through filling up, we'll do a zoom around. It's a anything, everything store, not just gas, not just convenience store. I mean, you just have to see it to believe. And wrap all this up. Appreciate you guys coming along with me. And like any time, if you have any comments, please put them down in the bottom. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Give us a call, send us a text message, shoot us an email. Any way you want to reach out to us, we've got your back when moving here to Texas. Thanks. Bye-bye.